Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. Today is Monday, August 11th, and you're hanging out with us, Evan, Alex, Will. We're here to answer your crypto questions. We're here to share helpful news, some commentary. It's a good time to be in crypto. It's a good time to be curious or skeptical about crypto. And if you've been hearing about it, you've been trying to understand it, or you just want to talk a little more closely with people who are using it, then this is the place for you. We're so glad that you're here. How you guys doing this week?
I'm good. I'm really excited to not have a sip of alcohol today. That's going to be great. I was home for my dad's 82nd birthday, which was on Saturday, but I went home on Wednesday. No, I went home on Tuesday, and I was there with one of my brothers who I hadn't seen in 3 years. So things just immediately went up to like 9 on a scale of 10. And then my other brother from Miami came in with his girlfriend and on Thursday, and then that really just went up to like 11 out of 10. And I am really excited to be drinking water today and maybe some electrolyte packets.
Electrolytes are good.
Yeah.
And good for you, Will.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to celebrate with your family. In moderation, those things are what make life worth it.
What is moderation?
What is moderation?
What is moderation?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I'll keep throwing high noons at the ground and drinking them then.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't stop the party. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah. How about you, Alex? How are you doing, man?
Good. We've been I've basically just been power cleaning the house the entire time because we're just going from showing to showing to showing. We have another one in like 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
Oh man!
So
up and
I've
down.
been awake for over an hour already, cleaning the house again, which wasn't too bad because we just did one yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, my house is so clean that now I'm like, well, I kind of don't want to leave. This is really nice.
I don't want to leave. I'm like, wow, this house could have been this nice.
I know, like, goddamn, this place cleans up good.
Yeah. Well, Alex, I'd like to say personally, thank you for being, one of the people selling their homes right now, because for the first time in a long time, there's a lot of inventory. There's a big difference between the amount of sellers and the amount of buyers in the real estate market right now. It's a difference by about 500,000, which is the largest it's been in many, many years.
Wow.
So thank you. Thank you for your service in adding your house to the market.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. Yeah, exactly.
I am buying another one though, so it's not all. It's going to even out. I'm a net neutral.
Yeah, but hey, it's there. Counts. Statistics.
Still counts.
Yeah.
Other than that though, I've gotten, I think, more like long, insightful comments on that most recent video that I posted. I think more so than any other video I've ever done.
What video is that, Alex?
It is about what I would honestly call the probably the biggest problem facing the Web3 industry. Something I think could like lead to its slow downfall, like its accidental death. Just this idea of really making no effort at all to actually meaningfully grow. And the fact that nothing in the entire industry has any like brand recognition or staying power or identity. And my point to that was just pick one and tell me that you're there for anything other than money. And I think that there was a couple things that got misinterpreted by that. Like one, me saying that was bad inherently, that like you are bad for being somewhere because you want to make money. Cause like I'm plenty of places because I'm trying to make some money. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But I think that effort is getting pew-pewed in the foot by none of the people managing those protocols making any meaningful effort to grow beyond the people that are already there. And that was the problem. And there were some really interesting comments that I found very insightful, particularly about someone made a comment that was like, oh, well, I guess memes. And I was like, what's honestly kind of funny is that the closest thing I think to like traditional brand recognition is Pengu as a crypto, is the Pudgy Penguins ecosystem, because they've got plenty of people actually who do interact with that ecosystem who are not financially invested in it. and don't expect anything out of it other than, oh, that's a cool little toy. I mean, think of how many, I wonder how many people, I would wish there was a data point about this. I wonder how many people have purchased or used, like purchased a toy or used a GIF without any idea what it's from. Like no idea that it's from, you know, an NFT collection, or no idea that there is a cryptocurrency. Because I'm sure there's some, right? There has to be.
I would say there's definitely more people who know of Pudgy Penguins as the GIFs than they do the NFT and or that it's a cryptocurrency.
Just by the sheer number of times those GIFs have been used. I mean,
I mean, their TikTok page, I think their TikTok page or their Instagram page has like 2 million followers, and it's just GIFs. Like,
well, and billions of uses of the GIFs.
Yeah, billions of uses of the GIFs. And then I don't know what their sales are like out of Walmart with those Pudgy Penguin, dolls and stuff, but they are an actual brand. Yep. It's an actual company that used Web3 to launch itself into an actual mature traditional company. Mm-hmm. And they just kind of do both.
Yep. No, it's the only one. It's the only one that I think has any, because then inside of crypto, there are some brands, but no one's there for any other like, I would say that Solana is starting to cultivate a culture, like an identity kind of feel, but it's extremely finance focused, right? Barachain, I think, decided to completely forego the tech conversation and have a branding and marketing conversation first, which I respect because it's unique, regardless of whether or not the tech is phenomenal or the best or whatever. Like, for the purpose of this conversation, I'm saying that actually is completely superfluous. But no one had approached it from day one the way that Barachain decided to roll out. Like, I think they were brand first inside the space, though, like super, concentrated. And then I think that the next closest, genuinely, is probably XRP. But again, completely focused on money. Like, no one gives a shit about the mission of XRP. No one's like there's no brand. It's just corporate business. But they have done more than probably any other crypto in terms of like being places that are outside of crypto Twitter and have like reached out into kind of, outside the confines of the space. So I think people getting into it or finding it through social media that have nothing to do with any other piece of the crypto space. Like, if you're only invested or interested in one single crypto out of everything, I think it's more likely that it's XRP than it is anything else. You know what I mean? Like, I think Bitcoin would be the exception to that, but like, I don't see a lot of people who are exclusively interested in just like one thing that's not XRP or Bitcoin.
It's a bigger phenomenon too, that people are so interested only in chasing a signal for speculation. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. Tori said in the comments, I've got 3 jobs. Yep. And I think there are a lot of examples, but I saw one this morning that I wanted to share with you guys. Beeple?
Yeah.
Of course.
People in our audience who are unfamiliar with Beeple, is the lawsuit legit or was it a joke? Because the thing he did to get sued was a joke.
Yeah, I didn't look far enough to know whether or not, that was my first thought, was, is this like a piece or is it? And I didn't have time to go further.
So, I saw a screenshot of apparently the filing, but you can fake everything nowadays.
Yeah. I have a screenshot of the filing here. What happened? So Beeple is an artist who, for the last 8 years or so, has been doing these every days, and he's a sort of a central figure in the NFT art movement. When NFTs became a popular phenomenon, first in 2017 with CryptoPunks, and then really popular in like 2020, 2021. He was right at the core of it. His everydays, one of them sold for, like $65 million or something crazy. It became like the most valuable NFT ever sold. And since he has been at the center of this culture. And yesterday, apparently, he had an event where he lives in, I think, South Carolina. And there was a piece of content produced where he signed a statement claiming that another NFT collection that was just a JPEG, NFTs are a piece of crypto technology that can be used to prove one digital asset from another. It's very popular for for art collections, usually computer generated. There's 10,000 of them. One of them's got a hat. One of them looks like a monkey, whatever. And Nakamigos was like a middle of the pack NFT collection that had some popularity, but like most collections now is, nobody's trading JPEGs. He signed this statement and it was published that claimed that Nakamigos was made by Larva Labs, the company that made CryptoPunks, the most popular NFT collection in history, and that it was like a beta version for CryptoPunks. And because people are not discerning, and it came from Beeple and, whatever, you could be misled by this statement. The Nakamigos collection, it just took off in price. Everybody started buying them up and selling them. And a lot of people were really mad because, they pumped and then they dumped. And it became such a thing that Beeple made this video about it, which is kind of tongue-in-cheek, saying, hey, here were the obvious, to me, red flags that should have signaled to you that I was just doing that as like a publicity stunt. It was a joke, whatever. But that's the example of the kind of content that's going to grab headlines because of who Beeple is, because of the speculation, because of the harm caused. And somebody who's curious about crypto will see that story before they come to understand what an NFT actually is and what it might be used for and how it might create value in the lives of all kinds of people. So it's an example that all of this is about how we tell the story. Beeple is telling the story. He's got a big platform. A lot of people are paying attention to him. And I say it all the time. I sound like a broken record, but it really is up to all of us to tell a better story. If what we want is only for the price to go up. But generally speaking, bringing people in a safe way and helping them understand is what's going to do that in a meaningful way, as opposed to just, a flash in the pan publicity stunt that pumps and dumps your cartoon. We can do better.
Yeah, he's totally getting sued.
He's totally getting sued.
He's totally not winning that. There's
no
way. It's
no.
obvious. They had to really look at the details to know it was a joke. You can't go out and say that something is something.
Right.
You got to start by saying it's a joke. If it's a financial speculative asset, man, you're hosed.
Yeah. So all that to say, Alex, your video was really timely, and I'm not surprised at all that it resonated with people, because I think everyone's feeling that.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more. I don't want to say pushback, but just like, I don't actually really know what the word that I want there is. But there was only like 2 or 3 comments out of several hundred that called me a fudder, which is interesting.
What is a fudder?
So FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's used to mislabel people who are skeptical as just haters. It's the crypto word for hater, because we couldn't just say hater. We had to come up with some other bullshit. So that's what it is. It's nonsense.
You're spreading information that's not just bull posting, which can be true. You can be like, hey guys, I see this thing, and then they'll call you a fudder. Or maybe you actually are really trying to manipulate the markets, in which case you're a fudder. Or if the traditional news sources like a Jamie Dimon comes out and says, hey, I hate Bitcoin, but actually they were buying, that them saying they hate Bitcoin was FUD. It was fear, uncertainty, and doubt to manipulate the market. So it's like both things.
But again, we have words for that, like lying and market manipulation.
Yeah, no, but that's for normies, Alex. Come on.
Anyway,
we're in our own space, and we're special and better than people because we have our own language, even though we're alienating ourselves and helping us to actually create worse brands, if you will, if anyone even manages to create a brand in this space. Good job, Pudgy Penguins. And I guess XRP.
That was my underlying point. Well, no, I don't think XRP has a brand, to be clear. I think
they kind of have a brand.
Well, they have a brand.
No, sorry. I think they have lots of things have a brand confined to the space.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in context to what you said earlier.
Yeah. But my point is that like XRP as a brand is exclusively focused financial. on it. And honestly, and that was my pushback there, because a lot of people were saying like, well, this is why XRP. And I said, yes. I don't think you're objectively wrong for that. I think that like of all of the cryptos that exist, if I was to put into a bucket, the few that I was like would just be blown away if they went to zero kind of thing. Of course it's possible. Anything is possible. But like as a crypto, if Bitcoin went to zero, if Solana went to zero, if Ethereum went to zero, if XRP went to zero, I would be blown away.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I get it. But also, don't lie to me and tell me that you're like a really big fan of institutional cross-border payment settling, because you're not. No one is. It's so dry and it has nothing to do with you. The attractive part is this idea that there is this impending switch flip and accidentally a very publicly accessible thing that we can all just buy as much of as we could possibly want and desire is like the central piece of it. That's why you're there, which is fine, because that is in and of itself a brand identity. But like, and the next part I'm about to say is not to say that these are like objectively correct, but like Solana, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, like these big kind of the layer one ecosystems wherein things are going to be built, I feel like those need to be really thinking about identity instead of trying to appeal to everybody. Like that's what one of the things XRP really has going for it in the world of branding, right? Like you can't please everyone, so you either love it or you hate it. But if everyone is just kind of ambivalent towards you, that's when you fade into obscurity and die. If you have hardcore haters, then you have fuel forever, because those people will never shut up complaining about it. And then your huge supporters will always have someone to fight with, keeping you in the conversation always. You know, like in video game development, it's better to have a game that everybody honestly hated than it is to have a game that everybody was like, it's fine.
It just reminds me, there was that movie that Ice Cube just made. I forget what the name of it is, but it got a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was the
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Dragging it for that.
It was the first 0 ever, but now people are like, all I'm seeing is, wait, it got the first 0 ever on Rotten Tomatoes? I have to see that. I have to
Instant
see
classic.
That.
Yeah. The only video I saw about it was one of the people I follow who does just a ton of like movie reviews and film critic type content was just like, I've watched and reviewed a lot of movies, and so I really want you guys to take a quick second to sit down with me and understand the full weight of when I say this is the worst thing I've ever seen, how hefty of a statement that is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? This is making me want to watch it, because I've definitely seen movies like, you know, I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman, and then 1984, I made it like 15 minutes in before I was like, hit me with a truck.
I liked the first Wonder Woman too. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I was like, I had a fun time with this. And then Wonder Woman 1984 is actually the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
It's up there, dude. I don't know if it's the worst ever, but
well, you didn't watch the whole thing you just said, right?
No, I made it 10 to 12 minutes in.
Oh my God, dude. You are missing some truly horrific, just, it gets so much worse. It really gets so much worse.
Mike said, like, lasted 10 minutes, turned it off. But I'm going to watch it now. That sounds like a great review to me.
So
I want to watch War of the Worlds. I want to see how bad it is.
There's a few of those though that like they, you know, when they have to transcend from awful to just like truly, oh my God, I'm watching this because I can't believe how bad this is. But then there's movies that are like made to be terrible, like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, cult classic, iconic. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. It's absolutely fantastic. Widely regarded as the worst movie ever made. I'm sure there's something else that's dethroned it now, but objectively terrible.
Okay, coming back to crypto, let me remind you, if you've got a question, a good joke, a word of wisdom, leave it in the chat. We're live everywhere. A special shout out to our friends who are tuning in on Instagram. Hello to Sagoon, who says market manipulation is crazy.
Correct.
And on that note, in terms of people like Beeple who are pumping and dumping, someone in the chat asked, are memers, meaning meme coin influencers, really being paid to pump a chart? And the answer again is yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Surely you've seen one of those lives on TikToks where they've got to pump it up, hey, in the background. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't got one in a minute. But there was a period, maybe at the start of the year, right after the election, I think when crime season was like coming to be a thing and people were like, oh, they're not going to prosecute us for this, that I got several emails a week from companies, you know, just random agencies. They were like, hey, we need crypto. First of all, they say, hey, love your content so much. Big fan. Anyway, we need crypto influencers to pump a meme coin. All you got to do, they didn't say it that way, but they're like, all you got to do is go on a stream and sit there. It's 8 hours a day and we'll give you $500 a day. You know, like it's a compelling day rate. And then if you get TikTok gifts or whatever, but basically they sit on stream, and usually they're not reputable people. Most of the reputable creators I know are like, you know, tell your story, walking pal. But yeah, it's unfortunately it's a thing.
That was the setup for the post yesterday. It was just like, it's such an insulting offer that means nothing to me. Like, I won't even dignify it with a no thank you. When you get it, which is just,
I just ignore.
Love the content. How about this? And it's like, you've never seen or watched anything. Like,
I just had to explain. Oh, sorry, Alex.
No, I was just like, explain to me why you think this is a good fit, and what about me has ever indicated to you that I would say yes to this? Because that's how I know you've never seen any of my shit.
No, that would take time.
Yeah, no, can't be doing that.
Can't be doing that. I had to explain yesterday to one of those people who reached out and said, "Hey, do you do sponsored posts?" They asked that, and I said, "No, I really appreciate that, because it's just like an ask, like, hey, do you do sponsored posts? No bullshit, no frills. Say this is what I'm trying to do." And I said, "No, I actually don't. It's pretty damaging to, like, I've done 3 before in the past, and I think it's just damaging to my brand, and people don't want to be sold, they want to be educated." And I actually, no, I didn't even say that. I said it's damaging to my brand. And, you know, we were interested in sponsorships at the Rise Up Morning Show for live, like we did with Polygon, if you were, or they would be interested. She goes, "Really? You think it's damaging to your brand?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, she's like, why do you think that?
No.
And so it came as like,
and you said, because actually once in a blue moon, I talk to real human beings.
Yeah, it came out as like a very innocent and honest kind of a question.
I like
from
that, though.
this.
I like that.
Looked like a woman based on the profile picture, probably not, but who knows? And she's like, she or they or he was like, "How? Why?" And I said, "Well, people see this video and they get the ick, and then if they see that you even if you say, 'Hey, this is a sponsored post,' people go, 'Well, what if all those other videos I saw them talking about other things, they didn't say that they were sponsored posts?' And so as soon as money gets involved, even if you disclose everything, your trust barometer goes down with your audience, and it hurts your brand. And, you know, there's so many people out there shilling garbage that whenever anything is sponsored, even if it's the most legit thing possible, people just automatically think, I now have to assume that this thing they're talking about, no matter how great it is a scam or bullshit in some way, shape, or form. And it's damaging to brands on both sides. It's not good. It's not what you want to be doing.
And two, if I complain for just a hot second, in general too, there's just sort of this weird phenomenon wherein people expect a lot out of content creators, but actually really get upset when they make money. And so even if you did, as a creator, everything above board and made the proper disclaimer and tagged the video and put the paid promotion thing on there and clearly stated that this was, you know, whatever, yada, yada. And even if then you carried on to present objective information, it is unbelievably difficult to make it come across as anything other than like, I am biased. And when there's such a heavy financial component to the thing you're advertising, it is impossible to escape the stigma. And in that case, then the thing I always tell people is there's only 2 kinds of people who are going to watch that video that I post. People who already know me and already like think that I'm going to tell them something valuable. They're not going to be swayed either way because they're already there. They're already here. We're not expanding to anybody new. Someone who discovers me for the first time making a paid commercial about crypto is going to be instantly turned off, and I'll lose that potential community member forever. And so you have like the stigma of a financially incentivized promotion for a product, like an investment, like you do in crypto. But then in general, you're still fighting this idea that like it's actually really hard as a creator to get paid and have people be happy for you or excited to see it or just actually anything other than pissed.
Mm-hmm. Here's one thing though. Here's what I'll say to everyone in the industry. I will make a video for you so long as I think your crypto project is terrible and you're willing to pay me to shit talk the hell out of you, which has happened once before. It's happened once before. I don't even remember the name of the. Oh, it was
Tars.
AI. It was Tars.
Yeah,
it was
you
Tars
said.
AI
I remember you telling us that. You said I said to them, and they said, "Okay."
I said, "Hey, I'm not going to say really great things about your project. I'm going to say one good thing, but I'm going to totally annihilate this part of your company." And they're like, we just want people talking about us. I was like, all right. And they sent me money, and I was like, here's one thing that's good. And this other entire half of their business model is total vaporware shit and awful, and it's never going to get any adoption. Thanks for the money, TARS AI.
To be clear, just because we keep seeing commercials for that one, it's bullshit. That project is bullshit.
Oh God, it was so good. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that all day. Yeah, you can pay me a few grand and I'll talk shit about your coin.
Cosmic says, being intellectually honest in crypto don't pay, but at least I can look at myself in the mirror.
I am a big fan of this.
Damn, I should start saying yes to those offers now and be like, yes. And they're like, how much is your rate? This much. I'm just like, but I will trash your project. That's fine. Okay.
Daniel used to reply to every single one with $100,000. He's like, if anyone ever takes me up on it, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah,
he's your rate 100 grand.
He's jaded level 10 though.
Oh yeah. Well, he's an engineer.
Yeah. He's seen the underbelly of the beast.
Vaporware pyramid schemes.
Oh God.
Okay. We have a lot of really good questions coming in and comments from folks in the audience, and I just want you to know I see them. I've been taking them down. Solon wanted to know, for example, about how to use Web3 right now in his business. We have folks asking about our price targets for Bitcoin, for altcoins, whether or not we think a dip is coming. And I have two quick news tidbits that will help give some context for that. I'm going to ask Alex and Will for their opinions. We'll go around and talk about it. But first, I want to let you know that if you are trying to learn this stuff and you're watching the Rise Up Morning Show or listening to us now or in the future, hello, we hope your candles are green. But I really want to encourage you to remind yourself that Rums HQ, the Rise Up Morning Show website, rumshq.com, that is the place where you should get connected to the show. It's a resource that's live 24/7. And there, not only can you find the schedule for all of our live shows, but there's a button right at the top that says, join our free educational community, start here, sign up, start learning today. It is a great place for learners at all levels of experience. We've just migrated from Discord to a new platform that is safer for people to interact on. It's simpler, and it gives us a lot more tools to learn live and asynchronously at different times together. We want you there. If you have trouble because you're somebody who's signed up and maybe you don't have access, we're actively working on getting everybody over. Don't hesitate to send us a DM, but we want you there. You can learn this stuff. It feels like drinking from a fire hose, but the secret is to get into a community, because you accelerate your learning journey when everyone is able to share what they know, get a second opinion, ask a question, learn, grow, and we say, rise up together. So, can't wait to see you there. The only thing missing is you. Are you guys ready? Oh,
I was just gonna say, there was one question here. A person over on TikTok was asked for the name again. It is the riseupmorningshow.com.
That's right.
No,
it is the Rise Up Morning Show, but the URL is Rums HQ. And you can remember that by remembering Rise, R, Up, Morning Show, UMS, HQ, like headquarters, rumshq.com. It's the place to be. The only thing missing is you. That's exactly right. Thank you for the screenshot. And now I have got just a little bit of
rapid fire crypto news.
Okay, guys, a couple of quick stories to give people some data and perspective for the takes we're about to give. These are that it is day 1 of 7 of Ethereum NYC, a conference in New York City. If you want to go by, it's probably a pretty good time over there right now, because Ether took the lead over the weekend. The second largest cryptocurrency by market cap rose from 4,000 to over 4,300. And for like one of a few times in crypto history, we saw Bitcoin lead, take a back seat, and Ethereum take a lead, almost like, racers in a marathon. And then over the weekend, Bitcoin came up with it, rotating back to the front, rising from $119,000 to about $122,000 a token, up 3.7% from Friday's close. And it's interesting to see that kind of lead change happen because it's rare. Ether is, of course, now vulnerable to pullbacks because almost 100% of Ethereum holders are in the money. So the current price is above their acquisition cost, the price they paid to buy it, which means there's a strong incentive for these holders to take profits. Some folks were commenting on your XRP remarks, Alex. A similar trend exists right now for XRP. It lagged over the weekend, rose 3% Monday. A lot of people are in the green. And speaking of the broader altcoin market, Bitcoin dominance, it looks like based on what Will has been teaching us about that, may be coming to a key support level. So one other quick headline I want to tell you on the note of business, Web3 and business. Have you guys seen Coinbase's X402? I had never even heard of this.
Never heard of this till just now.
Okay, so check this out. Coinbase has launched a service they call X402, which I don't know where the name came from. Maybe Elon picked a new
Somehow.
I was just about to say it's Elon Musk's new baby. Yeah.
Right.
Somehow in a world where Coinbase just can't for the life of them name anything, they've gotten even worse.
They've gotten even worse, and they've got even more products. This is a product that launched May 5th, and it's an open payment standard that embeds instant USDC payments directly into HTTP using the 402 payment required status code. In English, this means, you ever been to a website and it says you can't open this website? The most popular error is like 404, website not found or whatever, but 402 means you got to pay to play to see this website. And now they're integrating crypto payments directly. So APIs, the pieces of code that websites use to talk to each other, apps, AI agents will be able to transact using X402 without any other kind of account, manual steps, human action. So micropayments and machine-to-machine commerce can happen seamlessly. This is taking your GPT from answering your questions and telling you how to do a task to being able to act autonomously on its own to spend money on your behalf. It's a huge unlock. Since July, X02 has recorded 237 buyer entries, 302 seller entries, a total of 6,255 transactions, and almost $2,000 in value moved. The week of August 4, it hit a record $1,200 across 1,800 transactions. You're thinking these numbers are small, but that's because you're early. They've got partners like AWS helping them in the background, Anthropic, Circle, of course, is running their USDC rails, and Near Protocol. They're positioning themselves as the payment rail for the internet's new era. And with the weight of Coinbase behind them, I am really interested to see where this is going to go. But the other thing I would tell you, if you're looking for business solutions, is Coinbase Commerce. There's no reason you shouldn't be taking payments in USDC. With rails like this, simpler, faster, cheaper, and it's easy to onboard your customers or set up a terminal in your store that works the same way as the credit card terminals you're used to taking now. You can integrate it in your website. And if you're somebody who needs to take payments another way, I would encourage you to check out Sablier too. Everybody's hip on Zbeck because it's hot right now, a streaming payments provider that aims to be cross-chain and is doing some interesting stuff. But if you want a product that works right now and has been battle tested, check out Sablier, Sablier, streaming payment smart contracts since, don't quote me on this, fact check yourself, brother, 2017. You can take rent, you can share a loan, you can do all kinds of things with payment and escrow and smart contracts that cannot lie. You don't need to knock on someone's door, ring their doorbell, or send them a subpoena to get them to pay you. It just streams the payments to you. Soon the days of bi-weekly paychecks will be long gone, and you will earn second by second, minute by minute. And if somebody breaks the terms of the contract, the money is safe. So business solutions, market information, that's what we got today. And again, a reminder, if you're in New York, check out the Ethereum conference because day 1 of 7, they're about to have a party of a week, it looks like. What are your guys' takes on this? And a reminder, the questions that folks have been asking are about price targets, naturally, but specifically with regard to where we might be in the cycle for Bitcoin, for altcoins. What are you looking at? What are you seeing now?
Well, what I'm thinking about is maybe I need some Coinbase stock.
Yeah, right.
Just like, damn it.
Hot take, Will.
Hot take. All right. It's like
It's absolutely crushing.
Coinbase stock, and then some Circle stock would be good. I don't know. I don't really feel a strong pull to get MicroStrategy stock, which I know is just called strategy now.
No, because you can just buy Bitcoin.
I know you could just buy Bitcoin for that. Exactly. But, it is nice to get into something right before it gets into, or just as it gets into the S&P 500, and then things just start, S&P 500 index funds just start automatically buying it. And then they can buy even more Bitcoin.
What has happened to Circle to Coinbase since getting added?
I don't know. I can't say I've been paying too close of attention.
Me
but
neither.
That's something Doug and I can dive into tonight during Market Watch at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I would like to officially request that because that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but to your question, Evan, of where we are in the cycle, I made a video yesterday, slightly heat stroked and several whiskeys deep, but it still stands true in terms of my thoughts and opinions. I think the 4-year cycle is dead. Now, it's not going to officially get a tombstone until you hit 4 years after the last bear market comes by, and the market is different. But the reason why I think the 4-year cycle is dead is the first bit of evidence was that the ETF had to set a new all-time high, at a record pace. Absolutely smashed it. And it was before, I'm trying to remember, I have to go back on my chart when exactly it happened. Oh no, did I remove oh no, I did not. Yeah, it set a new high before the halving. That had never happened before, right? And then if I look historically at how gold's market changed in 2004, 2006, can't remember the exact year, when gold first got its spot ETF, it went on an 8-year bull run. There were some 30% corrections along the way, but very different from how it behaved before the ETF. So we don't know how the ETFs are going to change the cycle for Bitcoin. I'm just very convinced that it's totally toast. And that all-time high before the halving was reached was the first bit of evidence that it's totally broken. The other thing that's totally changed the markets of the ETFs is the whole altcoin season, how money flows through altcoins and Bitcoin. Totally vastly different, because now you have money just sitting in the ETFs and really not going into the altcoin market. It's sitting in Bitcoin, and now it's sitting in the Ethereum ETF too, and it can't really get on chain very easily. But the money that's on chain, the Ethereum that's on chain, is now worth more because of that. And the same thing will happen with your Solana and the other cryptocurrencies that get spot ETFs with staking turned on. And so things have already really been changed and different by the inclusion of ETFs. So people ask, oh, where are we in the cycle? And I go, ask me, the cycle's totally dead. And I have no idea where we are. It's like we were sailing in familiar waters, and the ETF was the new boat technology that we needed to go from Europe to the Americas for the first time. And we have no idea where we are. The stars are new, the waves and currents are different, and we don't know where we're going. And that's the honest truth. And nobody knows.
Wild uncharted waters, Prince Eric.
Wild uncharted waters.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel more confident about crypto than ever before. Like every decision I made to start spending time learning about this has paid off. I'm in the right place, but I also feel less certain about like what's going to happen tomorrow, this weekend. I know what indicators like to watch to help me kind of make sense of what's happening. But like you say, there's a lot of new stuff, a lot of untested stuff. And I am convicted and also uncertain at the same time. It's kind of an interesting place to be.
Yeah, and when you are uncertain and you are in profits, don't hold on to that, because you can find yourself in a situation like we've all experienced, where that life vest becomes a cinder block, and you are just falling deep into those waters well below your entry zone. So if you are unsure and you are in profit, take a little bit, just a little bit. You don't have to sell it all. You could if you want to and ride your pony off into the sunset, but just sell a tiny bit. If you're ever unsure and you're in profit, just take a little bit, de-risk a tiny bit. You can still hold on to some of it, most of it, however much you want. Just make sure you take care of yourself and pay yourself.
The life vest to cinder block analogy was perfect. It was poetic and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's no problem, man. I was just
gonna say it's amazing what I can come up with when I'm finally sober.
Could be a cinder block, but if you make the right moves, then that cinder block will become light, and the wind will lift your wings as you soar into the horizon. I don't know. I'm just trying to be poetic.
I don't know, just going to let you keep going as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keep it going.
This has nothing to do with anything, but I am thinking about how in this weekend's call, I was talking to some of the folks in maybe office hours, or maybe it was just a general circle call. And we were talking about making content together and some of our plans for the future of educational content. And I was sharing how I look forward to being together in person, because I want to see you play Schmillion Schmatzen, this sort of
Oh my
uber
God, yes.
rich, pretentious alter ego, almost like Squilliam is to Squidward for our SpongeBob fans out there. And I don't remember who it was, but somebody suggested, can Schmilliam Schmatzen have a dolphin-shaped bubble pipe? And I was like, absolutely.
I'm on Amazon right now.
I already went there, and I have to tell you, I'm disappointed I couldn't find it. We might have to get a friend who has like a 3D printer to prefab one for us or something, but I would love it. Congratulations, by the way, on getting your official account back.
Oh
I
my
think that
God,
is
dude. It feels-
absolutely huge.
Yeah, I didn't think that it was bothering me much because I'm very good. I feel like everyone is pretty damn good at taking negative emotions and you just kind of like press it down and you're like, this doesn't exist, I'm fine. And like I was fine, but like when I got the account back, because I was just set of just that's dead and I'm moving forward on this new account, and you know, it's affected my monthly income because TikTok pays me to make content. I make a lot of content. So, you know, my monthly income was anywhere between like an extra $400 to $1,400 a month, which is great. You know, I'll take that all day or each month. And then that went away and I was like, there goes like a little bit of fun money. And, you know, because you have to have 10,000 followers on TikTok. I had to make a new page. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But the biggest drawdown was I was like, damn, I was building that page for 4 years, like 4 years building that page. And I felt like I was just really hitting my stride as a creator and really in a position to like help us as a business, like just continue to expand and grow the audience size and get people in and help people and educate, and then just gone. So when I found out on Thursday, I think it was, that my account was back, oh, dude, it felt so good. Just like this invisible weight that I didn't know was there just got like lifted, and it was awesome. I was pumped and smoked a cigar in celebration. And then I started making a few just like silly, goofy videos too. I was interviewing the 2 German Shepherds that we had in the house, and I was just having a good time. I was like, who wants to talk to me? I have a camera and a mic. And woohoo! You know, I was all charged up. I even tried to go outside and start frolicking in the grass of Maine, except the neighbors were outside, and I was like, I can't do this. It's like while playing Hallelujah, It's Raining Men. I was gonna be anyway, it's a very good feeling, and it's great to be back on this page.
Man, amen. Like Solom says, those TikTok checks, that's like a legendary Pokemon card pull every other month.
Yes,
it really does make a difference. Not that we want to rely on to suckle on the teat of centralized social media that can be taken at the whim of our elected officials, but
it's nice when you are, as we were just talking about, it's very nice when you as a creator are able to make something that doesn't require you getting your audience to pay you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I can make all my money from big ass companies that can afford it, or platforms that can definitely afford it, and who I make lots of money by just existing here and getting them ad revenue and all that stuff, 100% win every time.
Yeah, like I'm making money in my mind, educating and hopefully helping a few people, but like at least, very least, you know, spreading information and awareness and stuff on something I care about and hopefully other people care about, and helping where and who I can, which is great.
Speaking of big companies that can afford it, Evan, one of the questions that I got over the weekend a lot in response to that video, and then I wrote a subsequent post on LinkedIn about the process of receiving terrible pitches and stuff, and then saying like, you know, what really sucks is that we're not turning down inbound as a company because we're swimming in cash and making a ton of money, because we're not at all. But like we get all the inbound from, you know, hey, our TGE is next week. No, hard pass.
Yeah.
And then all of the proposals that we send out are just like left on red and go nowhere. And so then someone was like, well, who do you want to, like, if you could wave a magic wand and get sponsors or get someone, like who would you want to work with in this industry in particular? And I was trying to come up with like, okay, if I could wave a magic wand, like who my favorites would be. And like, just for the purpose of this is not in keeping in the theme. We're not sponsored by anything right now. Nothing, not a single goddamn thing. So none of this is sponsored by anything. But I was just thinking like, okay, you know, if I think about like, who do I use all the time? Like, what do I genuinely use all the time that I could say like wholeheartedly is a good service and a good experience? If you had to pick 5, who would it be?
I thought you were going to tell us before you asked us.
I am, but you're going to tell me first.
5. Let's see. I always have to write it down so I can see my answers. I mean, I'd love to be sponsored by Solana because I do like it a lot. I'd love to be sponsored by Ethereum, but there's no. It's not like Vitalik's sponsoring things. It's
But
just, people talk about it.
It's the same scenario though as Solana. There's a lab and a foundation.
True. Yeah.
And they
We're
can
going
pay
with
people.
crypto companies here, like crypto companies.
Yeah, I'm for the purpose of this, I'm saying like things that are in or at least tangential / adjacent to our industry.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna add like Solana Foundation and the Ethereum Foundation. I think both of those would be great because I believe in them both long term. You know, those are my basic answers. And then I would say Immutable X. I love Immutable X. I love what they do. I love the Web3 gaming space. I still feel like they're the leader in it. And I just love what they do, man. And we're in a Telegram group with one of them, and they won't reply back to me. I'm just like, come on the show. I want to talk to you so badly. Also, Pudgy Penguins, dude. I would work with Pudgy Penguins like crazy. I've spent hundreds of dollars on their cards. I have spent more money, I think, on their cards than I invested in their coin because I just took like silly gambling money because I just liked the brand. And I was like, hey guys, have like a few $100s on the cryptocurrency. I was like, I just like you guys. Here you go. And it's like I have more of their physical, actual, real world products. I've played their Pudgy Penguin digital trading game. You know. Yeah. I use their gifts unironically because it's a crypto thing, and I use it because the gifts are cute and adorable. And I used to draw cartoons of penguins as a kid fighting wars with stick figures. I would love to, and also because they're an actual brand and business with a retail audience. They sell toys,
details,
all this stuff, and we have a retail audience. It'd be a good pairing. Pudgy Penguins would be great to work with. Outside of that, I'm struggling to come up with a fifth one right now. The fifth one's hard.
Okay, I got a list.
Go for it.
The number one that I would like to be in a sponsorship relationship with is River.com. River.com has done more for my crypto investing success than any other product that I use. It is a Bitcoin buying solution. They're an exchange like Coinbase, but the only thing you can buy there is Bitcoin. They make it super seamless for me to connect my bank and set up automatic DCAs, which is an order to dollar cost average, meaning buy Bitcoin on a schedule no matter what the price is. It is the best way to reduce volatility. And they say you don't rise to the level of your ambitions, you fall to the level of your systems. That's why I use River, because I want to buy Bitcoin every day. But if I got to click the button, it's hard. It's stupid. River does it for me. I don't even have to think about it. And then I log in once a month, once every 2 months, whenever I feel like it, and move the Bitcoin to my own cold storage wallet. It's great. We have an affiliate link that helps the show when people use it. They get like $5 in bonus Bitcoin, but I would love to have a deeper relationship with them. I would also love to have a relationship with Coinly, the tax software. I would love to have one with Kraken, the exchange. I would love to have a relationship with a cold wallet provider, and there are many that I would be glad to represent. I use Arculus and Ledger personally. I would be glad to represent Trezor, and my mind is open to other cold storage providers as to why they should be the cold storage sponsor of the Rise Up Morning Show and Rise Up. I'm not sure about number 5. I wrote down Circle of USDC.
Obviously Circle.
But that seems too, I don't know, it's great. It seems too corporate. I don't know. CoinMarketCap also.
It's corporate as hell, but I would love to be sponsored by stablecoin. Are you kidding me?
That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't disagree. They
just never would.
But really, like the one I would love the most, I think is DeFi Llama. And DeFi Llama doesn't do sponsorship with people, but they are expanding the ways that they do revenue. And we use their product every day, all the time. I would be honored to be in some sort of like partnership with them where we sat down, talked together, and figured out how to help them reach more people with the tools that they built, because they're my favorites.
Will didn't say Morpho, and that surprised me.
Oh, Morpho would be a good one.
That's because
if
you have the Ethereum Foundation, you're going to talk about Morpho.
Yeah, but I think about like specific protocols that like I use on a regular basis, like the ones like if I was to, what's my daily drive, I like the phrase, crypto EDC, like the things that I check every day or the things that I
military, man.
genuinely use. Yeah, I know, but it's applicable.
It is.
Yeah,
You
no,
know-
my mind didn't go there because I was also trying to think of people that would actually potentially sponsor the show. Like there'd be some retail, and the Ethereum Foundation and Solana Foundation, maybe, but like Pudgy Penguins and Immutable X are interested in. Immutable X is interested in gamers, game developers, more of a less large financial institutions. Pudgy Penguin, they have a huge retail business, a huge amount of retail clients,
Yep.
which would be great for our audience as well. And then my mind didn't go immediately to like, the more traditional companies, but like a cold storage wallet would be perfect. Arculus would be perfect. Ledger would be great. Treasure would be great. Any cold storage sponsor would be awesome because we talk about them all the time and people ask about them all the time.
And so my example for a brand that is so perfectly selling an idea, like an identity, a culture, and never the product would be Red Bull. And just because, I mean, think about the commercials, right? Like every Red Bull commercial, no one's talking about the drink and the ingredients and the flavors and the whatever. It's like, it's just people doing incredible shit wearing a Red Bull jacket because you're selling this idea of like being limitless. And I think it's so funny because there's a number of cold storage companies. They could so easily make their identity this kind of like autonomous security, like, there's all sorts of different vibes that you could like cultivate and sell as a brand that would give you a different feeling than the product. And yet they're just giving us like the tech specs on a brochure as their whole brand identity. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, this is so bad and so boring and nobody cares. Like there's no feeling of identity. And like that is such a miss because it could be so much better. And so that's top of my list for sure, would be something cold storage. Plus, I mean, oh my God, it's the number one question, right? Like it's every episode, thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of questions about cold storage. So that for sure. In that same sense though, like wallets that give you a good experience that are not cold. I don't know. I use Phantom all the time.
Oh yeah, or MetaMask. I would love to have a MetaMask sponsorship.
Yep, I've been using a ton of different ones just because there's a bunch that I've never used. So like Rabby, I'm a big fan of. Actually, you know what surprised me is Trust Wallet is like really good. And you know what's so funny is it took me 5, 6, 7 years of doing this to like try it and genuinely try to use it. And then I did it out of necessity. And then I was like, you know what? It probably says something that this is the one that I went to when I just needed one that I knew was going to work and get connection. So that was something. And then exchange wise, like what do I use all the time? If I'm on ramping, it's Kraken and Coinbase, depending on fees or the asset. But I just like the way Kraken looks. I like purple.
I'd rather be sponsored by Kraken than Coinbase here, and I use Coinbase, and I take a Coinbase sponsorship. But Kraken just has a much better entrance for the everyday man or woman who's interested in it than Coinbase does right now. Just cheaper fees and all that kind of stuff, right? And cheaper membership costs for the like Coinbase One version of whatever Kraken has. I forget the name of it. And the branding's cool. The purple is cool.
Branding's cool.
The other thing too is like just like our interactions with Coinbase. Well, they've all been positive. Has been like we've all had someone from Coinbase reach out. Yeah, I'm putting a positive spin on it, Alex. We've all had people from Coinbase or Base reach out to us. It's like, hey, we're interested in talking to you guys about like sponsoring like you or the show or something. And then we go, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then just like nothing. And just like, okay, like what was the point of this?
Or like they've active. Sorry, we were.
Or they've asked us to. Just like, make some content for us and like, you get on our radars more and build a relationship. No,
give you a rebate.
Just make it for free. And we're like, what?
You and I have had a very different experience or like read on the Coinbase experience because they are not fun to work with.
My take at Coinbase is just they don't see us as worth their time.
I think you're right.
Because we're too small. No, that's it. They just go, okay, these guys are in like a small, medium category in terms of audience size. And so we're going to give them small, medium category level of importance.
You know what? It's not that though, because they are paying people with way smaller platforms that are using base specific stuff like Farcaster. and it's about allegiance. It's about like exclusivity, and it's about like sycophancy, because just the number. We've had a very different experience.
I wouldn't call it sycophancy to spend money with the people promoting your stuff.
No, not them. They want that. That's what they will like reward. They don't want objectivity. And it's
Correct.
just at this point, It's been long enough to where I'm like, it's personal on some level, because we've talked so many times, and the conversation always goes the same way. Like, hey guys, we're really busy, but just make some free shit about us, and then we'll look at it maybe sometimes. I don't know. Go fuck yourself. So I don't care. I'm not impressed.
Let me.
But all of that was say nice little bow. Kraken. Hey, that's the centralized exchange that I'd rather have a partnership with out of any of them.
Platform's great. Like I use it all the time, but.
Mm-hmm.
To all the people who are curious about it in our comments, who are encouraging about it in the comments, if you want to do something to help the show, if you can make an introduction, that's great. But be aware, this is something we do actively all the time. We've got to lead out with Arculus. We've got to lead out with Kraken. And if you have a sponsor that you want us to partner with because they could bring the benefits of their services to the audience, maybe at a discount, something like that,
tell them.
Let us know, and then let them know. Like, you should tell us, but more than telling us, you got to tell them. The best thing you can do to help the show, aside from making it a priority to learn with us and all the friends here helping them, is let those people know. It's up to them to tell a better story, and we want to help them. Like that means so much to us when people do it. It's been really, really a huge part of our journey. So to all the folks who do that, thank you. Amso in the chat, in case you missed it, said, Red Bull, I can put you in touch with an SE lead. When I see him, I will talk to him about it. So point for Amso. Thank you very much, my friend. Okay, we got about 30 minutes left, which means it's not quite time. We got plenty of time for your questions, your suggestions, your good jokes, words of wisdom. And the person I want to speak to in the audience is the person who's wondering, hey, is this platform, exchange, website, wallet legitimate? Like usual, we have a lot of questions about, I'm being asked to pay a fee, or I'm being asked for my seed phrase, or is this upgrade that people say I need to Web3 important? If you have a question like that, we want to talk to you specifically, because there are a lot of scams and schemes in the crypto space. Nobody is ever going to ask you for your seed phrase who is legitimate. No creator you follow is ever going to reach out to you personally, directly in a comment, a direct message directing you to WhatsApp, telling you to use their trading app. I am about to publish this week a YouTube video taken from one of our sessions in Circle, that if you're in Circle, you can just go watch the recording right now. It's from our live Circle Q&A this weekend. We worked with Jackie, who was the target of a pig butchering scam. If you don't know that phrase, I'd encourage you to look it up. Pig butchering. It's a specific term that refers to a scam where they build trust over time, and like a pig for the slaughter, they fatten you up and then they get you. And Jackie was led to a website, something like, cryptoinvest.org. Usually they have buzzwordy names like that. And it was all these testimonials from users and descriptions of pro traders who handle your money, and it's secure, and sign up now and make money. And they had an app and everything on the back end that when you sent them crypto would show it going up in value. But all of those are scams. We talk at length in detail. I show the screen share, every single thing that helped me to recognize that was a scam, and will help people like Jackie, people like you, to avoid being taken advantage of in the future. So if that's you, let us know in the comments, and all of our friends here will help you get into the Circle community and get in touch with that better story. But it'll be on YouTube too. You guys ready for a couple of more questions? I've got a few from the chart, which is
let's fire away.
Do Ledger batteries die, or other cold storage wallets? Do they go out of fashion? Do they stop updating them over time?
I mean, mine connects to my computer, so there's no battery, but or at least
yes. The answer is yeah. If anything with a battery, of course. Some of them are rechargeable, some of them are not. Some of them are just like, my Trezor is the same as Will's Ledger. It only works when it's plugged in. It draws. It doesn't have its own power. You can't turn it on without being plugged in. Software, though, yeah, we just saw the first real instance of that with Ledger retiring software support for the Nano S platform. But the X, still good. And the Stacks, and is it the Flex? Is that the other one? Stacks for
Yeah.
sure. There's another one though,
Sounds
isn't there?
right. Ledger Flex, Ledger Stat. I don't know. We'll have to look it up. Go to ledger.com and look it up. Fact check yourself. And I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Max,
But yeah.
Flex.
Other than that, though, yeah. I mean, usually they're drawn by they draw power from whatever you plug them into.
But like a card-based wallet, I do believe is just like a chip and a magnet, or I don't know what near-field communication is powered by, but if you're using an Arculus or a Tangem, that kind of thing will probably last forever.
Mm-hmm.
They'll update the firmware of the app, not firmware, the software of the app over time.
And then in answer to Rajan's follow-up question here, if you reset your current ledger or, insert name of whatever wallet, is your crypto no longer accessible? No, it has nothing to do with that. Your crypto itself is elsewhere. It lives on chain. The wallet just gives you an interface to interact with it. And if it gets reset, if it gets thrown in the ocean, if it gets run over by a car, if you lose it, it doesn't matter. You can just simply import, as it's called, your wallet into a new device, and it's all completely accessible.
You know what I'm learning is that I think that people hear cold storage and it makes them think of like cryotherapy or not cryotherapy. You know what I mean? Like where Dr. Evil or Austin Powers gets frozen forever and preserved Walt Disney's brain. But your crypto, is accessed through a cold wallet. Doesn't live there. That's a good distinction, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Somebody saved me from myself. I had to invite a fake Coach JV up to the stage so I could get him.
Oh no, you did it!
This is
we're rugged.
Somebody who looks like Coach JV will publish a video that says your cold storage wallet isn't safe. You need to upgrade to the Web3 wallet, and they'll have a link for you. They'll say, "Reach out to me." They'll play on fear or urgency. Your cold storage wallet is safe. It's the safest. It's the best blend of convenience and safety for your crypto. Honestly, truly. Okay. The other question I had that we started to answer, but I would love to get a more explicit answer is Bitcoin price target before an eventual dip. The answer we gave, if you missed it, was really this explanation of being in uncharted waters and all the reasons why. It's difficult to say, but I personally would say while I'm watching the weather, I feel like I'm betting we're not done yet, personally. I think interest rates being cut in the future is extremely likely and will help with money supply. I think that a lot of people who want to get Bitcoin are still looking to get Bitcoin. But what do you guys think? Do you have an actual price target? I hesitate to put a stamp on it.
No, I don't have a price target at all. For the reasons that we mentioned before, the cycle's going to be different. We don't know what the cycle is anymore. We don't even know if there is a cycle. It's just going to be the market doing what the market does now, most likely. Or maybe the 4-year cycle is right? End of the day, take from that what I just said. Mm-hmm. No fucking clue what's going to happen. I just think it's going to be very different from the past. So I have no idea how high it can go. You can draw some comparison to what happened to gold when its ETF went live, but investing in gold wasn't as accessible to the world as investing in Bitcoin was. At the time that happened, not as many people were in this digital world and had such easy access to investing and trading. During COVID, there was a huge cultural explosion of people investing because we were all locked at home and needed to find ways to make money and do something with their time. So there's way more financial education out there and more people trading and investing than ever before. Bitcoin's also a much harder asset than gold. It's more scarce. So you have all these things that we're going to try to compare Bitcoin and what's going to happen to it to the gold ETF when it went live in 2006, 2004. What was the year? I don't remember. But and we can because it's the closest example, but it's still not a one-to-one. So it's going to be different for all those reasons. And the entire macro environment that we're in now is wildly different as well. So we can try to draw comparisons, but even then, any kind of like funny math that you use, or fun math, I should say, to try to see, well, how much money flowed into gold during those years? Well, that'll be the same amount of money that flows into Bitcoin. If it does, Bitcoin will go up by X amount. It's going to be a different amount of money. It's going to happen faster, most likely. it's impossible. It's impossible. Yeah, you don't know. The only thing that I do feel very strongly about is if you are in profit and you are unsure and you are in a good amount of profit, just sell a little bit, That's it. So do I have a price target? No. Do I have a timeline in my head? No. Do I have personal financial goals that I have set myself that I'm going to hold myself to? Yes. With Bitcoin, Bitcoin's a part of my retirement strategy. I'm 32. I'm not looking to retire for probably quite some time. So I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin and stacking it away. And, this is a very long-term game for me. And then altcoins, I'll play my altcoin positions and I'll take healthy profits along the way. And yeah, that's it. That's all I really have to say.
I love it. And I think there are some good comments about it, like that 150 is a powerful psychological number. If we went through 150, I mean, those big round numbers always are tough to break through and break past. But I would say if you want to signal on where the sea is moving, where the clouds and the weather are going, the best place to go is probably Rise Up Market Watch. Will and Doug are live to help you make sense of the macro markets and the micro indicators that markets move on. It's live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, every Monday night on all the channels where you're listening to us or watching us right now. So check them out, because you guys are really cooking over there. I really love what you're starting to do. I heard the theme song on the last episode for the first time and was giddy about it. So shout out
Keith. Yeah, shout out to Keith. And we found out that he snuck in like a random, I think it's a sheep.
Yeah.
We were just like, wait, what? We played it like 3 times and we didn't realize it. And we were both like shocked because we thought the song had ended. We were about to start talking. It's like, man. And I'm like, Keith, what? What did you do? Keith made the song for us, by the way. Shout out to Keith.
Yeah, shout out to Keith. He is the maestro of all of the theme songs that we use here. And I cannot wait. The only thing missing, I feel like, from the theme song, and maybe from this iteration of the show, is I'd love to have some visual bumpers. I know Alex is working on it, but how cool would it be to have a little Rise Up Morning Show animation, a Rise Up Market Watch animation, with Will and Doug, just little cute animated puppets? I would love that.
It'd be awesome. I
do want to very quickly speak to Patricia in the audience. Welcome, Patricia, who responded to our questions about scams with a question. This is a good moment for everybody in the audience too, especially our creator friends. Patricia asked, I've been asked to pay a gas fee. Is this a scam? That was her first question, okay? And someone in the comments said, no, a gas fee is not a scam. And in fact, they're correct. A gas fee is part of what blockchains charge. It's a user level fee, like a utility for electricity and computing power and things like that. It's not a profit fee. But the way she asked this question, she said, someone is asking me to pay a gas fee. Is this a scam? And so I knew we needed more information. I said, what platform is this happening on? And she said, WhatsApp. He said, it's $5,000. So listen to me. One of the common ways that these pig butchering scams that we talked about will get you is a trusted figure, somebody who looks like me or Alex or Will or Coach JV or whoever is going to approach you. They're going to say, hey, I saw you follow me. You're interested in cryptocurrency. I give out, helpful tips, but only on WhatsApp. Here's my number. And they text you every day and they lead you to an investing platform or whatever. You do it through them. And they string you along with junk fees. And they're preying on you not to know enough about crypto, to trust them enough, and to fear or be greedy enough to give them your money. And you're not stupid. Very smart people have been deceived like this. But the first and most important thing is you need to understand this is absolutely a scam. I know I haven't looked at the website. I know you haven't told me all the details, but this story is the same again and again and again. This is how it plays out every single time. We've been here for how long, guys? There is no legitimate crypto service that operates that way. It is a well-documented phenomenon, and I'm so sorry to tell you, but most people who lose money this way, because they're using cryptocurrency, which is very hard to reverse transactions and often involves a lot of other crimes like money laundering and identity theft, that money is gone. It was gone when you sent the first dollar, but you should still report the crime. And I want you to stay on the lookout for that YouTube video that I'm going to publish later today. It is going to walk you through the step-by-steps of how to recognize a scam like this. It's going to walk you through who to report it to, what to report to them, and how to make yourself whole afterwards. The best thing you can do is accept that that money is gone and work to make yourself whole another way, and get into a community where you can share that story with others so that you don't fall prey to it and nobody else does either. That's how we tell a better story here. Anything else to add for Patricia, guys? I'm so sorry this happened to you.
No, that's it.
No, nothing else to add.
I haven't thought of that one before, like the specifically calling it gas, because if you were then to Google, like even if you tried to do due diligence and Google like are gas fees scams, then you would find pretty much unequivocal.
Right.
Nope. Good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody worth talking to is going to DM you or try to pull you, onto a different messaging platform.
No. And can you touch on why that money, she said, so how can I get the money back? Why? She sees it probably on an app they gave her or a website they gave her. It's showing up. It's there.
No, it's not.
Okay. What is she looking at?
You're looking at either, just a fake, just like a spoofed web page, a fake dashboard. They just keep track of however much you've spent with them, and then fake some sort of return and show you just a number on a screen that makes it look like your money is increasing, but it's already been long withdrawn and sent to whoever stole it from you.
Just as an exercise, Alex, if I asked you to build a website like that, even as somebody who doesn't know how to code, and I said your budget is $50, how long would it take you? Could you do it?
Yeah, it would take me, at this point, it would take me less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. User login, a dashboard that shows money going up. And what is happening is when you send them that crypto, they are immediately putting it through what is called a mixer and then withdrawing it, probably with somebody else's stolen identity through a service like, Coinbase or Kraken or crypto.com or something like that. Maybe a Bitcoin ATM. It's extremely common and prevalent. And the other thing you need to watch out for is recovery scams. Somebody is going to reach out to you, Patricia, and they're going to say, hey, I saw you got scammed. I found you on the dark web and I located.
Yeah, you leave a comment anywhere that's like, I think I got scammed. That just makes you a target for a new kind of scam.
Or they might just DM you out of the blue, because a lot of these scammers are running a flip side operation where they take your money, and when you get wise to it, they wait a little while, then they reach out to you and say, I am a cybersecurity expert. They show you the same kind of fake website, testimonials from users about money recovered, and then they say, you got to pay a fee. My fee, or they'll say, I'm going to send it to you in this token. You got to pay whatever to get it converted. Use this web. It's the same thing. There is no crypto recovery expert. Nobody is going to reach out to you on social media about it. You report your crime to IC3.gov, which is an FBI website, and then your local authorities. Those are your methods of recourse, but you have to first accept that this money is gone. Over 99% of people don't get money back from scams like this.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, it's about that time. We can't end the show on a down note. Give me the last thing, and then let's lift it up.
The last follow-up, there was someone asking, is Web3 a scam because some influencers say it is? So again, because this stuff is complex, there's no super easy way to answer that, but I will say, no, in general, the concept that is Web3. Web3 is a marketing term to describe this entire industry. It's sort of just the bumper sticker label that was slapped on all of this. People use the term Web3 to scam, especially lately. There is a trendy one going around, which is
the Web3 wallet.
Yeah, such and such a wallet that you have is not safe. You need to connect your wallet to Web3. Make sure your wallet is a specific Web3 wallet. You need to go to this website and connect your wallet to Web3, deposit your money to Web3. Like, that's bullshit. That's a scam. That's nonsense. Web3 is an idea. It's not a thing specifically. It's just it's literally a marketing term. Yeah. To make it easy to describe all of this in one thing without saying the word crypto or without saying, the blockchain space or whatever. Web3 just sort of involves all of it. But anyone asking you to connect to it, if anyone's like really asking you to connect anything to anything, you should really think 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah. Yeah. Thumbs down from Will.
Thumbs down on that.
Yeah.
And a big ol' thank you very much. Okay. It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen, monsters and machines, that we will ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset on this glorious Monday. But first, we'll do a round of final thoughts. So send your last questions in the comments. If you got a prediction, let us know that too. Speaking of predictions, I got a joke race to participate in today. We are betting on the best prediction market. Anybody can play. It's a totally speculative game. I don't recommend it, but the 8-ball says bye. What do you guys got? Will, have you got a final thought for us today?
Only thing is we have the market watch tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So myself and Doug will be pulling up charts and taking a look at the markets and giving our thoughts and analysis on it, as well as talking about upcoming events this week. And we'll also take suggestions from the audience for coins and stocks and commodities, anything really, anything that has a financial chart. We'll pull them up and we'll analyze it and give you our thoughts and find areas of resistance and support, and if it looks good and healthy or weak and pathetic, So hop on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be on all the Rise Up Morning Show socials, and I will be hosting it on my TikTok page. So Beautiful. That's all I have there. And then I will not be on the show on the big screen or on the little screen here for tomorrow, and I'll just be on the little screen for the rest of the week.
Okay, traveling
again.
Well, we look forward to seeing you on the little screen. Alex, what about you? Final thoughts?
Honestly, no. I feel pretty well met. I have, like I said, I got a lot of really, really insightful, really interesting comments on that video, and I think I bookmarked like 20 that I thought like were just good prompts. I'm going to do my best to just start churning through those things. It's very annoyingly, because my video editor on TikTok hasn't worked in 2 years.
Oh God.
Yeah, I love that that's still a thing. Here we are. It's really hard for me to do comment replies, so I'm gonna see if I can figure out a good way to do it. But I would like to, because there were some really, really good ones.
Dude, your TikTok is so janky.
It's so janky.
Well, could I highly recommend TikTok support? In only 2 months did I finally get someone to take a look at my ticket without closing it on me before giving me any kind of update or telling me what was going on. So.
No, you cannot recommend TikTok support to me.
Well, I don't understand why.
These pests.
And my final thought will be to say again, if you are somebody who's worried about a scam, a scheme, you need some help, where am I gonna find you? This is good information. The show's going off the air. It's not going off the air, my friend. We're live Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're live Wednesday evenings somewhere for Rise Up After Dark at 7 p.m. Central. Market Watch Mondays, 7 p.m. Central. And you can find all of our past episodes on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you are, whenever you listen, you can rise up with us. And all of it lives at rumshq.com, like Rise Up Morning Show Headquarters.com. The thing you need to look for there is the link to our community. It's the very first link underneath. Join our free educational community at the top of our page. We want you there. That's where the show lives 24/7. That's the best place. We're never going to DM you. Our TikTok DMs, our YouTube, Instagram DMs, they're a mess. They're full of scammers. You could leave a comment on our videos, but it's really hard to like put a screenshot or something. You need a safe place where only the approved membership is allowed to be, and it's free to join. My friends, the only thing missing is you. If you could do one thing today to make yourself a more self-sufficient crypto user, investor, explorer, you should join the Rise Up community. I cannot emphasize it enough. Stop asking, people on TikTok you've never met before questions. Come and learn through relationship with people whose identities you can verify. And give it a try. You don't have to stay forever. Just like premium. You could try it. Got free trials. You don't got to pay us a dime to learn with us, but we have every tool you need to accelerate your learning journey, and we cannot wait to see you there. So thank you for being the very best part of what we do. And my friends, until next time, everybody stay safe, be well, rise up.